Okay, well, welcome everybody, and to our viewers, we want to welcome everybody. As you can see, we're in quite a different setting tonight. We're not at the Indiana Buddhist Temple. We are at Father John's Loving Kindness Center, I think is the name, in Bryan, Ohio. And it's a lovely church here. We're all just really excited to be here. We have quite a gathering from the town of Bryan, Ohio right here. So again, we want to welcome everybody. What we're going to do tonight is we're going to conduct the Karaniya Metta Sutta. The Karaniya Metta Sutta is translated as the Loving Kindness Discourse, the Loving Kindness Sutta. But right away I should make a statement, which is that you know that when things are translated, sometimes it's not an exact translation. So right away I should say that it's translated as the Loving Kindness Sutta, but be careful with the word love, because love is kind of a loaded word, isn't it? We say that we love our parents, we say that we love our country, but we also say that we love chocolate, and we love all kinds of things. So be careful with the word love. Love is often kind of a two-way street, isn't it? Even if we don't intend to, we might unintentionally expect that if we express love to somebody else, they are going to reciprocate somehow. And that's not what loving kindness is about at all. Loving kindness, metta is called, M-E-T-T-A. Metta, if you just kind of drop the word love, think of it as a kindness, and it's completely dispassionate. It's supposed to be given freely to everything, to everybody that you know, to the world itself, as a matter of fact, and you express loving kindness without any thought of getting anything in return. So I would say, as a general statement, if you start to read things or you start to hear about things in Pali or in Sanskrit or something, don't get too caught up on the words, because if you're interested in the topic, read as much as you can about it and kind of start to triangulate and get a feel for what it's about, more than getting too caught up with the words. So metta, loving kindness, is one of the 4 Brahma Viharas. The Brahma Vihara, abode or realms of the gods. Well, I come from a Lutheran tradition, and we didn't have Brahmas or Viharas or anything, so I kind of prefer the translation as the 4 immeasurables, not the Brahma Viharas. And you'll see as we go along why it's called why they're called the immeasurables. They're called the immeasurables because they describe a way that for people to interact more wholesomely with each other, and in fact with Mother Earth herself. So that's what this is all about. We are expressing kindness not just to each other, but to our enemies also, which is kind of hard to do, and and again to the world itself. So the other Brahma Viharas are there's metta, which is loving kindness. There is karuna, which is compassion. There's upekkha, which is what is upekkha? What is it? I couldn't hear it. Sorry. There's also upekkha and sympathetic mudita, which is sympathetic joy. Right in the middle of everything, I'll remember what upekkha is. But it's one of the so metta is one of the 4 Brahma viharas. So the way that it is practiced is that you begin by developing a seed of kindness toward yourself, and then you start to share that seed of kindness with ever greater groups of people. You start to radiate out loving kindness to greater and greater groups of people, and indeed to the world itself. Metta, metta or loving kindness can bring more harmony to the world. If people feel like they're being treated respectfully, they might, tend. They wouldn't, not always maybe, but they might tend to treat you a little more respectfully. It levels the playing field for people. So I guess we can start. We'll just do a kind of a brief demonstration of the loving kindness sutta. So I guess if we all kind of close our eyes, and so this has been such a tough year for everybody. It's been tough with the coronavirus. When things get tough, people tend to turn toward what they think of as a higher power. In the Christian tradition, Jesus teaches people to love each other and to treat each other with respect, love each other and help feed the poor and the poor and hungry. And the Buddha does this also. He teaches us to, again, treat each other with respect and not to treat anybody as though they're any higher or lower than you. So we'll begin by just we will develop we'll plant the seed of loving kindness in our hearts. And we will then begin to share that with ever greater groups of people. So if we can just imagine for a second that we are planting the seed of kindness in our heart first, and this is the first radiation outward. So you would think that that expressing love to yourself would be the really easy one, but it isn't, is it? Sometimes it's not as easy as it sounds, because we've all had instances of doing things maybe we're a little bit embarrassed about, or maybe we're a little ashamed of things. So sometimes it's hard to express love to ourselves, but you have to learn to be kind to yourself. So just for a few minutes, I guess, we will just quietly share some kindness toward ourselves before we can start to radiate it to other people. So we'll do that just silently for just 2 or 3 minutes. Okay. Okay, so we have planted a seed in our hearts. We've planted the seed of kindness in our hearts. And, you know, in just the same way as a gardener would plant a seed, you wouldn't just let it go. You would nourish it, and you would care for that seed, and you'd water it. And it takes a little work to help make this seed grow. So we are now going to take the seed that is growing in our hearts, and we will now freely begin to give this gift of kindness. We will freely give away. And the first circle, the first radiation outwards, is usually pretty easy. We want to share that gift with our close friends, our family members, people that we feel very close to. So this one is usually pretty easy. I mean, it's easy to express love and kindness to Bhante, to your friend Kim, to John, to other people that you know. So we'll take just a few minutes, and we don't want to keep this to ourselves. We want to start to give it away. So we will give this gift away to our close friends for just a few minutes. Okay, so once again, we have planted that seed in our heart, and we can feel that it is growing, and we have now shared that gift to our close friends, to our family, to those that we feel very close to. As you can see, what we are doing is we are starting with ourselves, but we're not turning our backs on ourselves. We are we are just starting to dissolve ourselves a little bit in favor of others, which frankly is one of the problems in the world today. People have forgotten what the word we means. People are so focused on themselves. People are a little afraid to do this sometimes because we feel that if we are giving ourselves away, sooner or later there will just be nothing left for us. But you'll find that the more compassion, the more joy that you share with people, the more kindness that you share with other people, it's not diminished for yourself at all. In fact, it grows exponentially. That's one of the reasons this is called, this is sometimes translated as one of the immeasurables, because there's no end to the amount of compassion and joy that you can share with people, and kindness. So the next group of people that we will extend our gift of kindness to is people that we may not know very well. Maybe the person in the bank that you often see, but you don't really know their name, or various other people. Maybe just the person that you bought gas from on the way to the church tonight. People that you really truly wish well, but you don't really know them very well. We want to share this gift with everybody equally. It's said that metta should be shared with people in the same way that the sunshine falls on the whole earth. Sunshine does not differentiate between anybody. The sun falls on everybody equally. A beautiful light rain falls on the whole earth. It doesn't decide that it wants to fall here or there. So we are sharing this gift now with the next circle of people, which is people that we may only just briefly or just vaguely know. So we'll do this for just a few minutes. Okay, so once again, we have planted the seed of kindness in our hearts. We have shared it to our group of close friends and family members. And now we have shared it with just acquaintances, people we may not know at all really. But now comes the really tough one. The tough one is the next one, which is that you must share this with everybody. You must share it with people that you might really have a problem with. Maybe you really, oh, it's that coworker that drives me nuts. Or maybe it's that politician that you totally disagree with. You must share it, you must learn to share this with everybody. And again, that's the reason it's called an immeasurable, because it must be shared with everybody equally. This demonstrates why it is called a practice, as a matter of fact. It's not like you go to college and chapter 3, Metta, and you learn that and you move on. It's a practice because it's not always easy to do. Bringing peace into the world is not always easy. People think of peace as a noun. Somehow you're going to get peace. Now some things are going to be peaceful. But peace is really, it's more correctly a verb. So if you forget everything else tonight, remember that peace is a verb. You have to make it happen. So that's what we're about tonight. We are making peace happen. There's the beautiful, I think it's a Christmas story in the tradition, in the Christian tradition. Let there be peace on earth and let it begin with me. Well, that's what we're doing right here. We are beginning with ourselves and we are sharing. We are creating that peace, and it's something that you'll be doing forever. It's not like you can suddenly, you will suddenly master it, because you'll have your good days and your bad days just like everybody. But what we're doing right now is creating peace and sharing peace and kindness with to those people, again, that maybe we have a problem with. So we'll do that just for a few minutes. Okay, so we have now begun to really, take on the tough job of really extending this love to people that we might, disagree with. What we're doing is people are a little afraid to do that sometimes because maybe they might start to feel a little vulnerable. But what we're demonstrating is that constant interaction back and forth between two people that have opposing views, that does nothing but perpetuate that bad karma. So what we're doing is we're learning to just start to diffuse some of that bad karma. We are showing that we don't want to live in that world, that we can create a better world. And maybe that other person will never come around. Maybe you'll always have a problem with that other person, but at least you are not living in that bit of negativity. So again, so that's the second to the last radiation outward. So finally, what we do is we share this gift of kindness with the whole world. We tend to be a little centric. We tend to be to think of human beings only, to think of human beings first. But we want to share our kindness with all creatures that we inhabit this beautiful planet with, and in fact to the planet itself. We can start to think, I really don't like centipedes, but maybe I don't have to kill it. Maybe I can take it outside. Maybe there's a different way. Maybe I can soften up a little bit. Maybe we can maybe recycle a little more, where we want to extend our kindness to Mother Earth herself. So this is kind of the one I enjoy, actually, because depending on what season it is, I like to envision different systems in the world: the Amazon basin, the Sahara Desert, the penguins that are currently enduring a long, dark, cold winter at the South Pole right now. So we can all just kind of think of our own ways that we want to share our gift of kindness and peace with the whole world. So we'll do that for just a few minutes. Okay, well, once again, we can practice this. You can practice this for as long as you'd like on your own at home, but this is just a brief demonstration of what Metta is. We're not specifically speaking about karma or anything right now, but karma is kind of like a momentum. Think of karma as momentum. You're running along at top speed and you suddenly have to stop, but you don't instantly stop, do you? There's that moment where the force of your own running, somehow you're still carried forward, and that's what karma really is. Karma is the habitual ways we think that just suddenly we're in the next moment, and we're in the next moment, that we're so used to this. So I think you can see that by practicing, by making a practice out of loving kindness, you can start to change the path that you are on in life. You can start to create more peace and harmony, and not just in your life, but in the world itself. It's something that extends out into the world itself. So that's what we're doing. We are turning the noun peace into a verb of peace. So I think that'll be enough for our sutta, for our discussion. If I can remember the words in Pali, I thought I'd chant a small thing, and maybe I should follow along just so I can remember. I actually, at home every night, I've got a statue, a little Buddha statue that a friend brought me from Vietnam. And I light a candle in front of the statue every night, and I do this chant. And I've done it for some years, actually, so I know it pretty well, but now that everybody's facing me, I'm afraid I might forget it. So I'll try to chant, I'll try to do it from memory here. And again, it'll be in the Pali language. Pali is a form it's derived from Sanskrit. The southern tradition of the Theravada tradition uses Pali as their liturgical language, and other traditions use Sanskrit. So I will attempt to do this, and then Kim, you can read the translation, which is no, that's John's. It'll be just this page here.
Oh.
Okay. Here goes. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Buddhaṃ saranang gacchāmi, Dhammang saranang gacchāmi, Sanghaṃ saranang gacchāmi, Dutiyampi Buddhaṃ saranang gacchāmi, Dutiyampi Dhammang saranang gacchāmi, Dutiyampi Sanghaṃ saranang gacchāmi, Tatiyampi Buddhaṃ saranang gacchāmi, Tatiyampi Dhammang saranang gacchāmi, Tatiyampi Sanghaṃ saranang gacchāmi. Iti piso bhagava araham samma sambuddho vijja charana sampanno sukhato lokavidu anuttara purisa dhammasarati sata devamanussanam bhutto bhagavati swakato bhagavata dhammo sanditiko akaliko ehipasiko opanayiko pachatam veditabo vinyuhiti supatipano bhagavatu savakasango nayapatipano bhagavatu savakasango Samyachipatipano Bhagavatu Savakasango Yaridam Chatari Puris Yugani Ato Purisa Pugala Esa Bhagavatu Savakasango Ahuneyu Pahuneyu Dankineyu Anjali Karaniyu Anuttara Punya Ketam Lokasati Etena Sajava Jena Hotame Jaya Mangalang Etena Sajava Jena Hotame Jaya Mangalang Etena Sajava Jena Hotame Jaya Mangalang.
Homage to the Sublime One, the Worthy One, the Fully Enlightened One. I go to the Buddha for refuge. I go to the Dharma for refuge. I go to the Sangha for refuge. A second time, I go to the Buddha for refuge. A second time, I go to the Dharma for refuge. A second time, I go to the Sangha for refuge. A third time, I go to the Buddha for refuge. A third time, I go to the Dhamma for refuge. A third time, I go to the Sangha for refuge. Such indeed is the Sublime One, worthy, perfectly enlightened, perfect in true knowledge and conduct, well gone, knower of the worlds, supreme trainer of persons to be tamed, teacher of gods and humans, enlightened and exalted. Well expounded is the Dhamma by the Sublime One, directly visible, unaffected by time, calling one to come and see, leading onwards to be realized by the wise. The order of the Sublime One's disciples is practicing well. The order of the Sublime One's disciples is of upright conduct. The order of the Sublime One's disciples has entered the right path. The order of the Sublime One's disciples is practicing correctly. That is, the 4 pairs of persons, the 8 kinds of individuals. This order of the Sublime One's disciples is worthy of offerings and hospitality, worthy of gifts and salutation, supreme field of merit for the world. By the power of this truth, may joyous victory be mine.
Okay. Okay, so Bhante is going to chant the Karaniya Metta Sutta right now. The Karaniya Metta Sutta is very well known in the Theravada tradition. I think Bhante said one time that when you watch television in Sri Lanka, it's like this is how they open the television with every day. So Bhante will chant the Karaniya Metta Sutta, and then John can do the reading, the translation in English.
Page number.
Oh, and if you want to follow along, for everybody that has one, this will be on page, it's on page 6, actually right in the middle of the book.
Good evening, all of you. Now I will bless you and your family. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Karaniya matta kusalena yantang santang padan abhisaminca sankho ujuca sujuca suvaco cassa mudu anatimani santossa koca subaroca ampakincoca sallauka unti santindriyoca nipakoca ampagambo kulesu ananugindo naca kundhang samacare kinciyena vinyu pare upavadheyun Sukino akemino honto sabbhe santa bhavantu sukhitanta ye kecipan bhutanti tasavatavarāvanavasesa digavaye mahantava majjimarassa kanukatula dinṭhāvāyeva adhinṭhāye ca dure vasanti avidure bhūtāvā sambhave sīvā sabbhe santā bhavantu sukhitantā naparo parang nikumbheta ñātimang yeta kanta cinan kanci Bhyārosana patiga saññānañña maññasa dukkamiñcaya mātāyata niyang puntang ayusāyeka puntamanuragke evampi sambha bhutesu mānasang bhāvaye aparimanang Mittanca sambha lokasmiñ mānasam bhāvaye aparimanan uddhaṃ adoca tiriyanca asaṅbādaṃ averaṃ asapantaṃ tiṭṭhaṃ caraṃ nisinno āsayāno āyāvataṃ vigatamindo etaṃ satin adinteya brahmametang viharaṃ idamāho dittiñca anupagamma sīlavā dassanena saṅpanno kāmesu vinayagedhaṃ nahi jātu gabhasayaṃ punareti etena sañca vajjena dukkha upasamiṅtu me etena sañca vajjena bhaya upasamiṅtu me etena sañca vajjena roga upasamiṅtu te sabbhītiyo vivajjantu sabbha rogo vinassetu māte bhavantantarāyo sukhi dhīgāyuko bhava bhavatu sabbha mangalaṃ rakhantu sabbha devata sabbha buddhānubhāvena sadā sunti bhavantu te bhavatu sabbha mangalaṃ rakhantu sabbha devata sabbha dhammānubhāvena sadā sunti bhavantu te bhavatu sabbha mangalaṃ rakhantu sabbha devata sabbha saṅghānubhāvena sadā sunti bhavantu te nakkhantayaṃ bhūtānaṃ pāpaggha nivāranaṃ parintassānubhāvena hantu te saṅupandave ākāsaṭṭā ca bhummaṭṭhā devānāgā mahindikā puññantaṃ anumoditva ciraṃ rakkantu lokasāsanaṃ idaṃ me ñātīnaṃ hotu sukhitā hontu ñātayo idaṃ me ñātīnaṃ hotu sukhitā hontu ñātayo idaṃ me ñātīnaṃ hotu sukhitā hontu ñātayo abhivādana sīlissa niccang vaddhāpacāyino Cattaro dhamma vaddhanti ayuvanno sukhang balan ආයුරාරෝග්‍ය සම්පන්ති සග්ග සංපන්ති මේවච අතෝ නිබ්බාන සම්පන්ති එමිනාතේ සමිඤ්ජතු. සාදු සාදු. Good evening. Now I am going to do a short blessing. May you be well and happy. May you be well and happy. May you be well and happy. May you be free from anger. May you be free from hatred. May you be free from suffering. May you be free from fear. May you be peaceful. May you be healthy. May your parents be well and happy. May your teachers be well and happy. May your family members be well and happy. May your neighbors be well and happy. May your village people be well and happy. May your countrymen be well and happy. May all beings be well and happy. May all beings be well and happy. May all beings be well and happy. May the Triple Gem bless you. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu.
This is what should be done by one who is skilled in goodness and who knows the path of peace. Let them be able and upright, straightforward and gentle in speech, humble and not conceited, contented and easily satisfied, unburdened with duties and frugal in their ways, peaceful and calm and wise and skillful, not proud and demanding in nature. Let them not do the slightest thing that the wise would later reprove. Wishing, in gladness and in safety, may all beings be at ease, whatever living beings there may be, whether they are weak or strong, omitting none, the great or the mighty, medium, short, or small, the seen and the unseen, those living near and far away, those born and to be born, may all beings be at ease. Let none deceive another or despise any being in any state. Let none through anger or ill will wish harm upon another. Even as a mother protects with her life her child, her only child, so with a boundless heart should one cherish all living things, radiating kindness over the entire world, spreading upwards to the skies and downwards to the depths, outwards and unbounded, free from hatred and ill will. Whether standing or walking, seated or lying down, one should sustain this recollection. This is said to be the sublime abiding. By not holding to fixed views, the pure-hearted one, having clarity of vision, being freed from all sense desires, is not born again into this world.
Okay, everybody. So I guess that will be finished for our demonstration of the Karaniya Metta Sutta. I hope that you have seen, as you've followed along, that it's not as if this is something that's magically just like a Buddhist thing, is it? I mean, I grew up in a German Lutheran background, and this is something that's really kind of universal, isn't it? This is just the Buddhist expression of something that really everybody, that any faith can practice. So we don't want you to think that we're some kind of Buddhist fundamentalist or anything. Bhante Devananda always tells people, if you're Christian, stay Christian. It's fine. Just practice what you believe in your heart. So once again, we want to welcome everybody to our temple in Fort Wayne. Right now with COVID, everything's a little crazy. You can come and visit us anytime. Just kind of be respectful and wear a mask near Bhante. So I guess that kind of concludes things for tonight. Bhante has mentioned that he has. Yes, sir. Bhante has mentioned that he has a blessing thread which he can tie on for whomever likes it. When our friend Lynn from the temple is finished, I will get a blessing thread, and whomever would like to come up and get a blessing from a high-ranking monk, go for it. So our friend Lynn Doctor from the temple wants to say something. Lynn has been really instrumental in, we have built new buildings at our temple. We are really a growing temple, and Lynn is the architect of a lot of this. So Lynn Doctor.
Hello, I don't think I need this. I talk loud enough. Wednesday, on Wednesdays, we started about 8 weeks ago because of the COVID thing, we shut down hard. But we started about 8 weeks ago. We've been doing a forest meditation out in the, out on the grounds. And it's a non-ritual. What you've experienced now is a partial, highly ritualized. And this is, the ritual is basically Bhante Devananda. He started doing that in, I think, 2003. And on Mondays, every Monday up until COVID, we had a loving kindness meditation, again, fairly highly, with ritual on Mondays. Thursdays, we did loving kindness meditation. Again, it stopped because of the COVID. But with that, it was a little less ritual. We put a little Dharma study on the back of it, a little Dharmapada. We usually did. We went a different Dharmapada verse every week, and sometimes we talk a little bit about it afterward, and everybody kind of knew what was coming up, and so maybe they would meditate on it or whatever. And then that's the way that worked. Again, stops dead with COVID. Meanwhile, we have a Bhante Devananda, who some of you have probably met. He's our fairly dynamic, or quite dynamic leader. And then and of course, Bhante Sugganama, he's more the understudy. And then we've got Bhante Mahanama, who he'll be showing up later this month. And Bhante Mahanama he's our spiritual leader. And he's an incredible man. You'll love to meet him. Again, I'm sure, I think Bruce and I will probably work out a deal if we're going to do this every other Monday night. If it works out, we'll come and I'll probably haul Bhante Mahanama and Bhante Sugganama here, and Bruce, or something like that. We'll work something out to the degree that you're interested. Again, you'd be very welcome. And particularly for those of you that live a little south or a little west, to visit our temple. We have one of our most ardent members, I suppose. He's been traveling twice a week from Angola to Fort Wayne, and Jeff will show up here occasionally as well. He's our depth of knowledge expert, who will. And that's that's good in terms of Dharma knowledge. I don't pretend to be that. On Saturdays, we have a Dharma study group that meets on Zoom, and that's at 1 o'clock. And you're, again, that's we're in the middle of a study right now, but as we'll see how that works, but everybody's always welcome there as well. We've got a unique opportunity that I'm not sure, I don't hear well at all, so I'm not sure what all Bruce has told you, but what we're setting, this is kind of an Ashokan event, and I don't know if Bruce told you anything about Ashoka or not.
No, too long a story.
He's the guy, Ashoka's the guy that basically picked up on Buddhist thought inside India and then brought it out and made it blossom in the world. And so it is. Now it's, that was 2,300 years ago approximately. Now here we are about 100 years after Buddhist thought was introduced into America. Now we've got basically Ashokans bringing it to the center of America, and that would be Bhante Sagunadharma, Bhante Mahanama, Bhante Devananda, and making Ashokans out of us in the process. And so it's been quite interesting. Their ritual is a way that, and a necessary, it's got to be there in order to transfer it from generation to generation. So you're going to hear some don't want to see so much ritual, some think, that's cool. Well, either way, it's part of the deal, and if it weren't there, we wouldn't have Buddhism. So that's the long and the short of that. And we have in Bhante Sagunadharma and Bhante Devananda, the chanting that they do without mask borders on really, really good. So that's something that you'll see in the future as well. But I would encourage you all to visit us if you like on Wednesday, get to know us a little better, and we'll over time. And you've got the beginnings of a wonderful sangha here, and a greater sangha for all of us, and that's awesome.
Yeah, the very last thing I'll say before we stop is Lynn makes a really good point. We're not just a temple, that we don't just sit around and do rituals all the time and things like that. We're an institute, so we have again, everything's a little crazy now with COVID, but we try to teach to the degree that we can. So anybody that has questions or anything, we are open to anybody.
Oh, and that would be one other thing I do want to bring up. All of us didn't get involved because we were searching for this or that. There's many different reasons to be there, and I think that personally, I had breathing problems, COPD, and have one little bit of interest in Buddhism, meditation, Buddhist thought, anything like that. I spent my career, retired, and was gasping for breath every day. My son said, go to the temple and breathing meditation at the temple. Well, I knew this guy because of the temple was built, or our temple, it's on my family homestead ground. So that's kind of how I got interested. But again, no farm kid, all that stuff, no interest in things. But my gastric breath was a big problem. And in going into meditation, what happened was that all I had to do was breathe, and I didn't have that problem anymore. And this is a problem I had for every day, probably for 10 years prior to it, and now, I won't say that never happened.
Are you going to tape when you do this?
then what
The
happened
team
is
going up.
the
Are you going to tape
meditation,
as people do this or
I
not?
found myself
Okay. Is it
actually
still
doing
taping?
more
Is it still taping now?
do the sense of things. That's where, in a perfect example for me, was rugby. Somebody used something to cut me off or something, I was likely to get fired up.
There's that momentum thing again. See, when we talk about the momentum, we react in habitual ways. Yeah.
And what happened was meditation that I practiced here, that you guys did actually just a few times, that gave me that extra fraction of a second to let reason pop in before emotion, which is really what Buddhist thoughts are. And so if that happens, when that happens to you, then you'll say,
Okay, so we can come up. I'll do a blessing thread, and whomever would like to come up can get one. Bhante, are you still taping or is it taping?
Sitting.
It's still, okay.
Did you want to mention Katina or not?
Well, I'll do that later. Okay, picking it up.
Sabbhiti ajjanto sabbarogo vinasatu mate bhavattamsarayo sukhi dīgāyuko Sabbe buddha valappata paccekānaṁ cayambalam arahantānaṁ tejena rakkhaṁ bandhāmi sabbaso. May you be good health, happiness and Lord. Bless you, sir.
Okay, thank you. I'll step out of the way for whomever would like to. Anybody else like to?
Sabbhiti vajjanto sabbarogo vinasatu mate bhavattamsarayo sukhi dīgāyuko bhava. Sabbe buddha valappata paccekānaṁ cayambalam arahantānaṁ tejena rakkhaṁ bandhāmi sabbaso. May you be good health, happiness and Lord. Bless you, sir. Sabbi buddha valappata paccekānaṁ cayambalam arahantānaṁ tejena rakkhaṁ bandhāmi sabbaso. Sabbi buddha valappata paccekānaṁ cayambalam arahantānaṁ tejena rakkhaṁ bandhāmi sabbaso. May you be good health, happiness and Lord. Bless you. Sabbe buddha valappata paccekānaṁ cayambalam arahantānaṁ tejena rakkhaṁ bandhāmi sabbaso. Sabbe buddha valappata paccekānaṁ cayambalam arahantānaṁ tejena rakkhaṁ bandhāmi sabbaso. May you be good health, happiness and Lord. Bless you. Sabbe buddha valappata paccekānaṁ cayambalam arahantānaṁ tejena rakkhaṁ bandhāmi sabbaso. Sabbhiti vajjanto sabbarogo vinasatu mate bhavattamsarayo sukhi dīgāyuko bhava. May you be good health, happiness and Lord. Bless you. Sabbhiti vajjanto sabbarogo vinasatu mate bhavattamsarayo sukhi dīgāyuko bhava. Sabbe buddha valappata paccekānaṁ cayambalam arahantānaṁ tejena rakkhaṁ bandhāmi sabbaso. May you be good health, happiness and Lord. Bless you. Sabbe buddha valapatta vacchekanan chambalang arahantanam tadejena rakham bandhami sabbasu. Sabbe buddha valapatta vacchekanan chambalang arahantanam tadejena rakham bandhami sabbasu. May you be good health, happiness and long life. Bless you. Sabbhiti jantu sabbarogo vinashyatu mahate bhavatantarayo sukhi dīghāyuko bhava. Sabbe buddha valapatta vacchekanan chambalang arahantanam tadejena rakham bandhami sabbasu. May you be good health, happiness and long life. Bless you. Sabbhiti jantu sabbarogo vinashyatu mahate bhavatantarayo sukhi dīghāyuko bhava. Sabbe buddha valapatta vacchekanan chambalang arahantanam tadejena rakham bandhami sabbasu. May you be good health, happiness and long life. Bless you. Sabbhiti jantu sabbarogo vinashyatu mahate bhavatantarayo sukhi dīghāyuko bhava. Sabbe buddha valapatta vacchekanan chambalang arahantanam tadejena rakham bandhami sabbasu. May you be good health, happiness and long life. Bless you. Sabbhiti jantu sabbarogo vinashyatu mahate bhavatantarayo sukhi dīghāyuko bhava. Sabbe buddha valapatta vacchekanan chambalang arahantanam tadejena rakham bandhami sabbasu. May you be good health, happiness and long life. Bless you. Sabbhiti jantu sabbarogo vinashyatu mahate bhavatantarayo sukhi dīghāyuko bhava. Sabbe buddha valapatta vacchekanan chambalang arahantanam tadejena rakham bandhami sabbasu. May you be good health, happiness and long life. Bless you. Sabbe buddha valapatta vacchekanan chambalang arahantanam tadejena rakham bandhami sabbasu. Sabbe buddha valapatta vacchekanan chambalang arahantanam tadejena rakham bandhami sabbasu. May you be good health, happiness and long life. Bless you. Sabbe buddha valapatta vacchekanan chambalang arahantanam tadejena rakham bandhami sabbasu. Sabbe buddha valapatta vacchekanan chambalang arahantanam tadejena rakham bandhami sabbasu. May you be good health, happiness and long life. Bless you. Sabbhiti jantu sabbarogo vinashyatu mahate bhavatantarayo sukhi dīghāyuko bhava. Sabbe buddha valapatta vacchekanan chambalang arahantanam tadejena rakham bandhami sabbasu. May you be good health, happiness and long life. Bless you. How are you, Father? Sabbhiti jantu sabbarogo vinashyatu mahate bhavatantarayo sukhi dīghāyuko bhava. Sabbe buddha valapatta vacchekanan chambalang arahantanam tadejena Sakkam Bandhani Sabbaso. May you be good health, happiness and long life.
And you. Thank you.
How are you? Sabbhi janto sabrogo vinasato mate bhavatantarayo sukhi dīgāyuko bhava. Bless you. Sabbe buddha valapatta vachekanam chayambalang arahantanam tejena sakkam bandhani sabbaso. May you be good health, happiness and long life. It's a cut. Sabbhi janto sabrogo vinasato mate bhavatantarayo sukhi dīgāyuko bhava. May you be good health, happiness and long life. Bless you.
Thank you.
Sabbhi janto sabrogo vinasato mate bhavatantarayo sukhi dīgāyuko bhava. Sabbe buddha valapatta vachekanam chayambalang arahantanam tejena rakkam bandhani sabbaso. May you be good health, happiness and long life. Bless you. Sabbhi janto sabrogo vinasato mate bhavatantarayo sukhi dīgāyuko bhava. Sabbe buddha valapatta vachekanam chayambalang arahantanam tejena sakkam bandhani sabbaso. May you be good health, happiness and long life. Bless you. Sabbhi janto sabrogo vinasato mate bhavatantarayo sukhi dīgāyuko bhava. Sabbe buddha valapatta vachekanam chayambalang arahantanam tejena rakkam bandhani sabbaso. May you be good health, happiness and long life. Bless you, sir. Sabbhi janto sabrogo vinasato mate bhavatantarayo sukhi dīgāyuko bhava. Sabbe buddha valapatta vachekanam chayambalang arahantanam tejena rakkam bandhani sabbaso. May you be good health, happiness and long life. Bless you, sir.
Thank you.
Sabbhi janto sabrogo vinasato mate bhavatantarayo sukhi dīgāyuko bhava. Sabbe buddha valapatta vachekanam chayambalang arahantanam tejena rakkam bandhani sabbaso. May you be good health, happiness and long life.
Thank you, Bhante.
Sabbhi janto sabrogo vinasato mate bhavatantarayo sukhi dīgāyuko bhava. Sabbe buddha valapatta vachekanam chayambalang arahantanam tejena sakkam bandhani sabbaso. May you be good health, happiness and long life. Bless you.
Okay, so have you stopped taking? Are we still taking?
Yeah.
We're not. Oh, okay. Okay, we're not on camera anymore, is what I was asking. Let's see.
I guess since everybody's taken the trouble to come tonight, maybe we can do like just a brief question and answer sort of thing. Anybody want to ask anything? It's not like I'm the world's leading authority on anything, but between us all, we can triangulate here. If anybody want to ask anything about our temple, or maybe the little bit that I know about Buddhism in general. Anybody?
When you say Wednesdays, is that
It's Wednesday evening. Let's see. Ohio is on the same time.
Yes.
We're all 6:30. And our temple, by the way, our temple is on 6 acres. So we have a real, pretty setting. We set like trees. It's right next to a pond, holding water and everything. So this is kind of it's fun. We don't have to do like ritual. It's just a quiet sort of 45 minutes.
The plan this time, what we're talking about doing is doing a sit for 20 minutes, walk for 20 minutes, and sit for 20 minutes. You'll find that walking meditation is a special sort of thing. And whenever you slow down, then all of a sudden, really you get real shaky. So, but it's fun, and you certainly concentrate. So it's so we thought, anyhow, we typically do 40 minutes, but we thought we might try that. Because sometimes 40 minutes of sitting is hard to back, and if you do 20 minutes and then a 20-minute walk, and we thought that might. But again, meditation is all about its experiment. It's very personal, and there's no, it's got to be this, none of that.
I guess I'm thinking about our community, and I would love to find out different things that are happening in the temple, and maybe a group of us go on a Saturday, we could also share that. I've been invited to some beautiful ceremonies that are very special. I'm also interested in simply having our own community right here. So I don't know if that means we would like to meet every Monday. It would not look like it looked like tonight. It may change. Every other Monday, I'm open to every Monday. Personally, I think I need it and would love to be part of it. And I would love to grow our own community here. So if that works, I would like to say this next Monday, 7 o'clock. Does that work? We will do another loving kindness meditation. My only problem tonight, I'm finding I have to learn patience. Hurry up. So I've got so let's call it, if we didn't have a community loving meeting, I would even like most of them like tonight, and every time I've been with this group, they've offered me food, Sri Lankan food, etc. Tonight they also brought a gift to me. And so we're thinking about a couple days before Thanksgiving, just put in your minds, we'd like to have an interfaith loving kindness evening when we would have a different faiths here.